this project about development of a transmitter and receiver. So here we are using ESP32 chip as a receiver and ESP8266 using as a transmitter. So first we need to find the MAC address of ESP32, then we go for step by step development. Please stay on the video. We need to find the MAC address of ESP32 is. So we just going for the code upload. So we need to first download the code manager and respective files. Then we can find the MAC address book. So once you have these two ESP32 and ESP8266, so you go to the tools. From tools you will find that manage library. From library here you find board manager. So board manager you write down ESP32. I have already downloaded these two things. So you have to download these two files and install it. Then you go for ESP8266. I have always downloaded this file. So you have to download these three files. Once you have downloaded these three files, now you can program to find the MAC address of ESP32. So we are using ESP32 as a receiver and ESP8266 as a transmitter. So you need receiver MAC address. Your MAC address you will find that the header file as this header file is included in ESP32. So that header file only return and in this mode we will just write down Wi-Fi dot MAC address. So it will continuously give you MAC address. Once you write down this course, you need to connect that ESP32 module. And if you go for that, upload that code. So you have to wait for uploading. Once you once you monitor mode, you will find this MAC address. Continuously going on. You no need to run it continuously. Just note down this MAC address. Now I go for that receiver coding. I will transmitter. First move on the transmitter code. That is ESP8266. So I have already write down that code. So I'm just opening that code for you. This is the transmitter module. That is ESP8266. So these two header bytes are included. And just the programming I write down to transmit. So something like I want to glow some LED or I need to drive a motor wirelessly. So here the programming is done. We just two switch uses at the transmitter side. During turn on that switches, the signal is transmitted to the receiver side. The receiver is act on signal. So two signals are used, and this is the MAC address of the receiver. 0x is put as a convertible direction, and the Boolean function is used. This is either true or false state. So it defines that the switch will work either true or either false. So high and low signal. So once you MAC address and from the structure, so there will be down to the callback function. The callback function is usually sending the data to the receiver. So these ones stay as in data, transmitting the data to the receiver. So here keeping always keeping we are keeping active high. And just switch on and keep it down to the low, and every time the signal is transmitted. So you can reverse also keep this switch active, cool down, and make it high so the signal will be transmitted as your choice. So now these two things are for make the ESP8266 on my on. So you want to write down the necessary library file first. This is that the main program to React. So this to transmit the switching state. So here we controlling this thing. If we send I, the receiver will catch that signal and behave on that. So just without the library file also on that data to data files. Using this tool is we're sending that state of these switches. So this all about basic transmitter open. So if you want to include any sensor data you want to transmit, so you can use analog read by defining a analog pin, and then you will need to put analog read of that pin, and that's then continuously sent to the transmitter. So that's about transmitter code. Now we go for the receiver. Receiver code and already written. So once you write down this transmitter code, you need to upload it into the transmitter module. And transmitter module already uploaded this. So now we go for the receiver code. This code is already written, that's why I am showing you how to write it. So you can copy it by pausing the video, and then you can write down. Now I am writing the receiver mode program. Now come to the receiver side programming. Receiver side we are using ESP32. So these two are headed by integrated circuit. Now the as we are sending 2-bit data from transmitter. So we are receiving using two switch to react on that transmitted data. Even like the switch or anything. We are same as it is working as a high and low mode. So we learn data type is two. So from the structure, so go for the callback function. And so these are the main things that is receiving the data packet sending by the transmitter. And once you receive that, now you have to define that when the switch will be high. That means as you have previously that input the data from transmitter. Now here we are just highlighting or transmitting. The receiver just using that to switch to drive any LED or network anything is that. So once you have typed on the callback function, that function you will find into the library file. If you click on control and select this from the library function will open from the library function. Yeah, you can copy this function and then paste it to the here. And same, this will also have a library. So using that tool, so we can write down that private data receipt. Once we write down, we need to, I am using two pin here to receive two transmitted data and express that. And then we need to activate the Wi-Fi mode of this ESP32. Once it activated, now we will go for receiving the data. Yeah, this data is receiving by this switch 1 and data is receiving by the switch 2. So once you receive according to the state that if we receive 0 from transmitter side, so we are reversing that. So if we receive 0, then receiver digital pin will show high signal and we receive 1. We can reverse that. You can put here 1 and you can write down low, or you can put down write down low at 0. Anything you can do that is in your according to your requirement. So just write down the step. Once you write down the step, now send the data to the receiver. And once you send, the program is done. You can upload that program to the respective ESP32. Now, one thing I forgot to mention previously, that is the once you go for any writing that code or uploading the code into the respective board, so you first select the respective board, that is ESP32 or ESP8266, and the COM port. It is very essential which COM port is in. Otherwise, you will find some error. As I got some error here. So what happened? Serial COM port is using without. Oh yeah, I have already opened the transmitter program, so I need to close it. Then I can write the other program. Now I open it will be right. So the respective board selection and as well as the port selection is necessary to upload that code. The latest version of Arduino module I am using, the Arduino IDE that I am using, and two board I am already installed the first place. Yeah, you can see that data is uploaded. Yeah, upload is done. Now we go for the demonstration of these two by drawing the LED. Yeah, program is already written down in the respective. This one is the ESP8266 that is using as a transmitter. So this one is ESP32 that is using as a receiver. So once LED is connected between two pin, any pin you can use. I am using port 0 and 2 that I have shown into the code. You will find out so thing. And here the mouse switch using to press, and nothing that mouse switch using to press, so that this respective data once it is transmitted to the receiver. But you can see that by pressing mouse LED is glowing.